community in Minneapolis that spent the past 3 months screaming to defund and abolish the police is now complaining about a rise in crime, saying that police aren't doing enough to keep their neighborhoods safe. Now excuse me while I react to that news. Okay, let's break this down. It does not get much more ridiculous than this. So, the city council in Minneapolis stripped $1.5 million in funding from the Minneapolis Police Department so they could hire violence interrupters who are supposed to defuse potentially violent situations rather than sending in police who might end up, having to shoot somebody. Yeah. In June, that same city council voted unanimously to dismantle the police department entirely and replace it with a Department of Community Safety. They haven't quite gotten that far yet, but that is the plan. At the same time, the Minnesota Freedom Fund collected more than $35 million to bail black criminals out of jail, including an alleged murderer, a twice convicted rapist, a man who allegedly broke into a 71-year-old woman's home and assaulted her, a man arrested for beating and robbing a person on the street, and another man arrested for sexually assaulting an 8-year-old girl. Kamala Harris donated to that fund, in case you missed that. But now, in a shocking and not at all foreseeable turn of events, it turns out that when you accuse the police of being racist, no matter what they do, then take their funding, start dismantling their whole department and releasing all the criminals, crime goes up. According to the Minneapolis Police Department's crime data, violent crimes, including assaults, robberies, and homicides, are up 20% this year. As of August, there have been more homicides in 2020 than in all of 2019, and we've still got 4 months left to go. In fact, when it comes to murder, the city has almost doubled its yearly average and is well on its way to hit a 20-year high. Arsons are up 55%. The only violent crime that's dropped is rape, so thank God for small mercies, I guess. And now police are pissed about it. The city council is fielding complaints from residents who say that when they call 911, no police officers are showing up. Some on the city council are now blaming the police department for letting crime run rampant, 2 seconds after they took their money and voted to dismantle the department entirely. Council President Lisa Bender accused the cops of intentionally not arresting criminals when they see them. So first, the cops were wrong for arresting people, and now they're wrong for not arresting people. This is a level of idiocy that defies description, truly. It's absolutely baffling until you remember it's a bunch of leftists, so really, you told police you didn't want them anymore. You told them that they would be labeled racists and their families would be threatened if they ever question, arrest, or, God forbid, shoot a black man, regardless of the circumstances. You assaulted them and screamed at them and cursed them and threw trash can lids at their heads, and then you took their funding. And now you're confused and upset because when you call about a guy running around your apartment complex with a gun, nobody shows up to help you. Really? You are that stupid. Frankly, it's a wonder anybody wakes up, puts on a police uniform, and goes to work these days at all, and God bless them for doing so. And see, herein lies the general problem with leftist demands, and if they ever get that far, policies. They're about as well thought out as putting a screen door on a submarine. So much of the platform that we hear screamed in the streets by progressives who've traded a job for a bullhorn is empty words and ridiculous demands that have no basis in reality. It's kind of like when they say we need to forgive all student loans, give everyone free health care, provide free housing, food, clothing, and internet, and make sure they never pay a dime for childcare. They don't want to talk about how there's no money for all of that crap. The facts don't matter. Just keep repeating the buzzwords. They aren't capable of looking at a problem objectively, considering all the facts and the potential consequences of a policy, and then doing something realistic with that information, because that would take time and more than 4 brain cells. So instead, they just scream in the streets and then blame somebody else when they get exactly what they want, and it turns out it sucks. I am sorry that there are more people getting hurt now in Minneapolis. I am especially sorry for the kids and the few adults in there who I hope are smart enough to understand that a world without police is not the lollipop utopia the left makes it out to be to score votes. But I am not sorry that the effects of this radical, thoughtless, progressive policy are already playing out right before our eyes, because having to face the painful consequences of stupidity might just be the only thing that has a snowball's chance in hell of saving our cities. If only we could count on that miracle. And that's your Reality Check, America. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, like us on Facebook and Twitter, and stay sane out there.